Hello. I'm here to do a pretty quick spread. 20 minutes, I think. I'm gonna just kind of update from the reading I did the other day because I pulled out 3 pages and we had some swords energy, and I was talking about how it feels as if ideally what we would want is for challenges to stop so that we can focus. But there's been this weird, it's like another wormhole. There's been some funny energy, and I think it has to do with the Mars Pluto thing. Definitely tense and like some emotional stuff being churned out right now, but as with anything, see it as functioning for you. And what I have found to be just like resoundingly true is that there's a lot of power. I know it's been like a day. I learn a lot every day. It's kind of ridiculous, actually. Every day is fresh and new. Every day is fresh and new. So in the like day and a half that's passed, I've been going, every day is like 5 days for me right now. I'm really quite busy. Things are simmering down a little bit, but could you guys simmer down a little bit? Probably not. Excuse the pet noises in the background as always, but so what's working for me is like finding strength in focusing on exactly and only what is right in front of me, not spreading myself out too far, trusting, having faith that my bandwidth at this time. Mutt. The dog has to go out. Okay, this is just gonna be a quick 3-card spread to check in with the energy. I guess this video really is the shortest one I've ever done. But yeah, just thinking about polarity on Earth, right? And how we're so very imbalanced. It's a very masculine, patriarchal world in which a lot of women are divorced from their bodies and their intuition. And there's a lot of kind of like insidious intervention. I mean, call it insidious or not, I don't care. Around the fact that when women, like, I can't tell you how much my life has changed positively since I got off of birth control. I'll just leave that comment there. But it has helped me to hone my gifts and reconnect to myself and clear out trauma in a way that I was not capable of doing before. And a lot of women have been healing for a long time, but some of the messages I've been getting for the last few days pertain to ascended masters that are like strictly masculine, like Jesus. Serapis Bey, can Google. Who else has been coming through? There's a lot of support for men right now who are having awakenings and accessing their third eye and their crown chakras in a new way. And that's a really beautiful thing because it's affecting women too. I'm feeling that energy and that support. And I did a reading yesterday just for myself, but the Emperor came out, and then I was kind of like in meditation thinking about those energies. So we'll see. Hang on, Muttley. Give me 1 minute. 1 minute. We'll do current, energy to embrace, energy to release, hidden, sticking point, and advice. Hidden, sticking point, and advice. Okay, so it's 6 cards. Can't find my glasses, so my eyes are like having a hard time adjusting to everything. Or I don't even know what I'm saying. I can't tell you how much I've had going on. All right. In current energy, we have High Priestess. I'm also getting this message about the fact that there's a lot more, if you think you don't know what's happening, you do. That's the thing. There's a little bit of I'm seeing like crosshairs. The intuition is moving through the central core of the issue, as it always does. The intuition doesn't go to illusion, it goes to the core. That's how we find it, right? Oh yeah, I mean, this is taking us back to the analogy that I used the other evening in my most recent video with like cars in Asia not having any lanes or stop signs or traffic lights. They just do their thing. So what I'm getting as an extension of that is that we've managed to align it a little bit. We're not fighting that activity, but I think this is a quick forward moving energy, and I am just trying to give these little readings on the day by day, because just like the energy, we're just trying to take it day by day. So what's our energy to embrace? It's justice. Again, like moving from a disorganized traffic flow to this like cross. I think that the reason why we feel in opposition to certain things is that we can't see that we're aligned, but it means that it highlights what's not in a juxtaposition. That's where justice comes in. What's the energy to release? It's the Ace of Cups. I don't have anything to say about that because that's kind of unusual. Let's see how this pans out. What's the hidden energy? Oh my gosh, the Temperance. Okay, message around this one is about, I mean, what I said the other day, we had 8 of Pentacles and we had 7 of Pentacles, and it was about focusing. If we had Knight of Cups, we had, yeah, so if you're looking for love or fixated on love, you're also sort of fixated on the lack of it, right? If you're seeking and searching. But the more you give love to yourself, focus on your stuff, and feel good within that, then I think that opportunities come more effortlessly and easily to us. I just put a new thing on the meme gallery and it said, oh, no, I never posted it. It's a quote by Mark Anthony. And he says, when we stop looking for our purpose and what we're meant to do and just start living, then it finds us. And so that's kind of the case for anything love related right now. The hidden energy is Temperance. And so I like this a lot because what I talked about with like intuition going one way, look at these bad bitches. It's like they're kind of in opposition in this weird way, but they're not. I mean, they're very much on the same team, right? We want for the intuitive truth to affect the world outside of us. And the universe also wants that to be the case. The universe is constantly trying to edge its will forward of having more of its children align with their true nature. That's what we're doing here. It's the point. And to enjoy that process. So I like that Temperance is showing us that it's smoothing out. You know, when you take, I'm seeing like Photoshop, where there's like a line or a pixelated thing and you can just blur it all together. Temperance is allowing for this to feel, the next 3 days are going to be nice for this. We're going to kind of like slip into a little bit more of a flow with what was bothering us just about a few days ago. And another message that I'm getting is about, I think there's going to be a pretty quick turnaround around the fact that we're going to feel a little bit grateful for some of the stuff that's been happening because there's a strange silver lining going on. So don't, wait around looking for it. I mean, always look for silver linings, but not like in a waiting, anticipatory thing. So what's the biggest sticking point? I know I said I would do incoming first, but I'm going to do sticking point right now. It's crazy. It's the 10 of Cups. Okay, so I said release Ace of Cups, a new beginning in love. The biggest sticking point is 10 of Cups. I mean, we're going to have to clarify that message because there's a few different ways that this could go. So what's the incoming? You ready to get back into some healing? No, you know what I'm hearing is integration. I don't think this isn't like retreating into hermit mode because things are about to ramp up here. The end of February is going to be big, as well as March and April and the rest of the year. If you remember in my 2024 forecast videos, if you chose to watch those, the message for quarter one was it's all about posture. And I was talking about making sure that whatever goes on in our lives, we're utilizing the ability to kind of be an upright individual physically by being with kind of like I can't tell you how much energy has been purging out of my system, like the body aches and stuff that I have with that. I don't advise people around their own bodily conditions. Like, I just speak about it generally, but I can tell you specifically, I know that it's not like doctor related. I know when it's energetic. And just like a lot of stuff around that message for me recently, like posture, like making sure that no matter what is happening around me, like a tree in a storm, the trunk is solid. So I'm seeing this Four of Swords as incoming, as like a reminder around that, and making sure that we are and feel and continue are integrating, feel like we have a silent chamber of rest even when we're on the move. Kind of like that energy around like take that hermit show on the road. And then this is a clarification card. Okay, I'm getting to take it from the bottom of the deck because there's something about this that we're not seeing. Okay, so if we're releasing Ace of Cups, any expectation, and if your situation isn't, like if you're not single, this could have to do with some kind of thing that's going to make you feel emotionally fulfilled. So it could pertain to another part of your life or an improvement in your existing relationship that like you're attached to or holding out for or wanting to have a new fulfilling beginning with. What's the clarifier? Get out of here. Five of Cups. All right, we're going to shuffle out 2 cards to clarify. You saw how that came out. I mean, it's ridiculous. Every time, I love how things are changing right now for me personally. I'm like, it's just, there's a lot of activations and stuff going on. My actual life is going crazy, and then like there's just so much going. I mean, you can tell I can hardly get my thoughts out. Okay. And then what's on the top? You can't make it up. Oh, okay. Also, another channeled message that I got is, well, I've been hearing a song. I never listened to this song. I don't even know this song. I had to Google it, but I've heard it. You know, I was singing it. It's called Tender as the Night by Jackson Browne. I think everybody knows that song. It's just one of those songs. Just one of those songs that's like always playing around. And specifically the part where it's like, forget about who's right and remember to surrender. That part, that lyric has come into my head like 20 times. It's like, that's not, it's just funny. This is how it happens sometimes, but I don't listen to that song. I don't sing that song, and I'm not even singing the whole thing. I don't even know the whole thing, but I know that part. Forget about who's right and remember to surrender. That could be a message for somebody, but what came out to clarify our little spread is the 9 of Cups, okay? So I'm going to walk us through this, and then I'm going to conclude, hopefully. Please don't let me do this tonight. I want to go to bed. All right, so energy to release is Ace of Cups. This, for me, different than the 10 of Cups. It's the new beginning, or like an offer, right? An offer of love. An offer, I mean, I know it's not like an Ace of Pentacles, but it could pertain to a job, like an offer, like hearing back from something, you know? And then the sticking point is the 10 of Cups. So the reason, I mean, I think and then we clarified with these two. And to clarify that, I got the 9 of Cups. So it's really just a special little story that all goes together. I mean, the only card that's not cups in this is the 3 of Swords, and it's about heartbreak, disappointment. I'm pretty sure, even if you don't read cards, you can read this because it's so succinct. And I love, by the way, that even though I didn't do it's like my guides know, the cards know, the universe, the energy knows. It gave us heavy hitters because it's like, well, she's not going to pull out a ton of cards. So it's like packing a punch, you know, in just a few cards. But there's something around just like fear, illusion, convention, expectation, attachment. There's going to be things in our lives, be it with relationships, friendships, family, work, passion projects, even our own, what I was talking about the other day about counterculture, but as far as the culture that we've cultivated within our own lives, I don't think that's something that we think about a whole lot. I was in the car probably 3 months ago on some ramble talking about, like, I think it was the female objectification ramble. I was talking about being in other countries and having other teens, but like going to school at a certain point in my life with very, very cultured international teens. So they were kind of hybridized. They weren't, they were like dual citizens of different countries and stuff. And we do generate a culture outside of nationality just within our own lives. And we're pushing the boundaries of that and starting to see that it can be anything. There's a lot of that that's inherited, and a lot of what we inherit is meant to awaken us because it's not for us. That's where we get into the ancestral healing. And I was talking about this. No, we're not going to do that right now. It's too long of a tangent. But there's just this big release happening, okay? This is disappointment. This is heartbreak. This is the past. This is the past. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Why do we not have to fear? I knew they wouldn't. Because it's a leap of faith. It's a brand new beginning. You see this? This card is 0. This card is 0 because we're starting over with whatever it is. And if you're not starting over, you're having a new lease on something. You're going to have a new something. There's a lot of ways that we can anticipate things going wrong for us, but all you're doing is projecting your very potent power of expectation in the wrong direction. I mean, that's as simple as it gets. You can either be optimistic or not. And you're not smart and prepared for always being negative just because things have been negative. You're sabotaging yourself. And I mean, we're not going to fixate, right? We're not going to fixate, but we are in for emotional fulfillment in a new way. We just have to relax a little bit about timing, I'm going to shuffle out advice and then I'm really going to go. Because I said 20 minutes. I literally prayed. I prayed about a bunch of stuff and I called in my guides. And then I added a little note. I was like, please let me keep this under 20 minutes. I want to see myself do that. And here we are. But what's the advice for the whole... the lovers. I mean, to trust yourself. And I'm also getting a message about focusing on yourself. Honestly, I don't know who needs to hear this. Please don't be triggered or mad at me for saying this if you don't like this message or necessarily want to hear it, but the more you want to be in a relationship, the more you need to be alone. I mean, focusing on yourself, like, you don't want to be in a relationship if you're unhappy not being in a relationship, because a relationship isn't what makes you happy. It should not be the thing that makes you happy. I mean, people know this. I think people know this. But sometimes we forget that, like a lot of the times we know things that we have a hard time embodying, right? And we're very paradoxical and contradictory creatures. We are. We can't not be. That's been a theme, by the way, lately as well. The contradiction within everything. Like, I'm always kind of just openly walking people through my own insecurities and battles around whatever it is I'm thinking about on any given day. But I know how hypocritical I can be when I'm all, I don't know. We're not going to go there. But there's something within this card, and it's not the most typical of reads or interpretations of the lover's energy, but I'm seeing it as like, you're your own other half. that phrase other half, I mean, we're all whole. We're all whole. But sometimes two whole components just go really well together. So in order to properly attract somebody who's truly aligned with you, you do need to spend time with yourself. Because then you're just attracting somebody from an unhealed place, and that's where we get into karmic lessons. I mean, we can attract and I saw a really funny video yesterday. It's popping back up into my mind, so I'm thinking that it's relevant, but it was like, when you've healed too much and you start dating again and you're just like cold. Never mind, I can't explain it. But the point of it is like, you just have a different affect when you're okay alone. You're okay alone. And I was talking about this a few days ago, but a lot of people are not okay being alone. They think that they are, but they're not. So there's just a cautionary message within this, because, you know, here's the deal. The only way, though, that this becomes real is if we're not in like a union energy with ourselves. Lasting thought to conclude that, too. I love this for us. Major arcanas are scaring me, actually. This little potent reading, I wish it was short, because now it's just getting into my usual territory and people are going to be like, oh, that's too long, I'm not going to watch it. The world is endings. We're done with all the upsets. I think that there's a lot of, especially, this is why all of the ascended masters who are masculine have been coming in recently, because there's like a huge ending of a lot of the toxicity and disappointment that's been challenging, right? Leading people to be divorced from their intuition. It's very interesting. It's so very interesting, right? We're integrating, right? You have to trust that it's the end of the upsets. Good.